1, 2, 3. She'll be my dream girl, my lady, the only one I need. She'll be everything, and that is special to me. She'll be my dream girl, my woman, the only one I love. I know that our relationship will be made in heaven above. As a senior in high school, I wrote that song for my future wife and performed it for my youth group and for Mr. Seal's English class. In every place I sang it, I watched girls cry. Ever since then, I've dreamed of one thing: writing a hit song. Side note, my parents still think Dream Girl is my hit song. Writing a hit song has been such an all-consuming daydream that over the years, I've caught myself in front of the bathroom mirror quietly reciting the humble words I'll say when I accept my Grammy Award for Song of the Year. I don't need this award. All I need is Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In real life, though, I kept chasing a hit song. For example, I've spent over $60,000 recording my songs. I've traveled thousands of miles to sing for coffee shop-sized audiences. And I've written down hundreds of music-related goals at the beginning of each year. But in October of 2019, after getting off the road from a small house show tour, I sensed God leading me to stop for 1 year. Stop recording, stop touring, and stop setting goals. Oh, one more big thing. Stop using Instagram and Facebook. Honestly, the leading to stop everything for a year didn't make any sense to me. And since I had some good momentum from touring and from my Christmas songs being streamed on Spotify, that leading, well, I ignored it. Then 3 months later, early in February 2020, I watched one Facebook video. And as I cried, I rewatched it. And I rewatched it. And then I finally stopped. Audible, Audible, Audible. Hi, my name is Rob Vischer. You're listening to the second episode of my new podcast, Audible God. In every new episode, you'll hear stories of ordinary people who claim they heard from God. Later this season, you'll hear from a Nashville producer who had an awkward experience at a gas station. And today, you'll hear from a Michigan worship leader who had the biggest Christian song of 2018. Then, well, you'll find out. God!
So then one day, I just got the song, the melody, and it was in a dream. I got the melody and, sang it into my phone, and woke up the next morning. I was like, oh, dude, there was something on that.
Meet Cory Asbury, the apparent king of understatements.
Oh, dude, there was something on that.
And a worship leader from Kalamazoo, Michigan. He literally dreamed up a Christian hit song. Literally. When I say literally, sometimes I don't mean it. But this time I do, because he didn't just dream up a Christian hit song. He dreamed up the Christian hit song.
And I went and just sat down and started messing with it. It probably took, 45 minutes, an hour to get pretty much the crux of it. And then went upstairs to where my buddy was working, showed it to him, was like, bro, we need to help me finish this.
This is Caleb Culver, his buddy / bro.
The melody line for the chorus, he was singing it in a dream. The next morning or the morning after, he said, hey, I got this melody. And so it was a little bit more fleshed out, but we jumped in a room together and he just asked the question to me, like, okay, what does that mean to you?
And we just immediately started kind of, ideating on the verses. Like, what if they were all sort of juxtapositions of sort of conflicting thoughts? So like, when I was your foe, when I was your enemy, Still Your Love Fought For Me.
When I was your foe, still your love fought for me.
So I don't know, probably another 30 minutes, an hour maybe. And as soon as I showed him the song, he immediately played that line. You know, the line that you hear in the beginning of the song. And I was like, bro, that's the line. Like, that's the hook. That's it.
Right when I played it, Cory was like, holy cow, that's it. Like, like instantly it was like, okay, the music is done. And
it just, boom, all landed. It was super quick.
The rest of the song and the musical hook took less than 2 hours to write. Cory's correct. That's super quick. But even though Cory and his friend Caleb had written Cory's dream song, sometimes even the best songwriters trick themselves into thinking a really average song is a really amazing song.
So we made a little demo of it, and it was good. Like, the demo was solid. You could feel it, whatever. And I was trying to get my record greenlit from Bethel Music. And they just kept saying, no, you're not ready yet. You don't have enough songs yet. And they're like, yeah, this is a good song, whatever. They don't really like vibe with it like I feel like they should.
So Cory's record label felt like the song was a slightly above average song. And Cory, well, he felt like it was way above average. But in the music business, it doesn't always matter how the label feels or how the artist feels. Sometimes it just matters how the audience feels.
There's certain songs that you do or you lead, whether they're yours or not. And it's just undeniable that the song is just going to go off. Like, you just feel that. And the room just goes nuts and responds. And, there's all sorts of different manifestations of God's presence in the room. And when I say manifestations, I don't mean people like barking like a dog or like fucking like a chicken. Like not like the Pentecostal manifestations, but what I mean is like outward displays of God moving in a room. So it might be people crying, weeping. It might be people dancing or, filled with joy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with the Christian worship scene, let me break down what Cory just said for you. In the late 90s, when I wrote Dream Girl, I loved NSYNC, still do. A song going off at a late 90s NSYNC concert looked like masses of preteen girls screaming, crying, waving their hands, and some even dancing. A song going off at a worship concert looks kind of similar, except for 3 key things. Very minimal screaming, not as many preteen girls, and no worshiping boys. Just God.
Yeah. The first time we ever did it was in San Antonio, Texas. Actually, it's called Bernie, Texas. It's a little smaller than San Antonio. And it was probably, 1,000-person little event, conference kind of thing. And we were like, all right, let's do it. Like, we've never done the song before. Let's try it and see what happens. And Stephanie Gretzinger was with me on that trip. We were leading together. She'd never heard the song. And I didn't give her like a heads up that we were going to do it or anything. We just jumped into it. We led this song and we kind of got to the end where it was going to be done. And we were like, well, let's just keep going. And we just went back and forth, bridge, chorus. And it was probably 30 minutes that we were just going off.
Worship leader caught in infinite loop between bridge and chorus. That's one of my favorite fake headlines from the Christian satire site, the Babylon Bee. And it's exactly what Cory just described. I've been in Christian worship services where a song is going off for just one person, the worship leader. And embarrassingly, I've been that worship leader. So how does Cory know for sure that the audience is feeling it? Well, they tell him.
Afterward, everyone was coming up. What was that song? Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, okay, there's something to this.
Like I said, the king of understatements.
We kept doing the song on the road, and we'd get tons of people, reaching out everywhere they could. But it was when Stephanie, who was with me in Texas the first time we ever led the song, it wasn't until she led it at Bethel Church. So in the room, it was going off. Like, people were just feeling it, right? Kind of like very similar to that Texas experience. So someone rips it off of Bethel Music's, website or whatever, and puts it on YouTube. Within one day, it had like 1 million views or something like that. And I remember seeing it the next day and being like, holy smokes, like, what happened?
Piracy. That's what happened on the high seas of YouTube. Now, I'm not endorsing piracy or ripping songs from live streams and posting them to YouTube, but when random YouTuber Andrew Griggs ripped that video of Cory's song from Bethel Church's live stream, some really cool things started happening.
It just kind of blew me away. I was like, what is this song? I've never heard of it. Looked up all kinds of lyrics, couldn't find anything about it.
Meet the YouTube pirate himself, Captain Andrew Griggs.
I thought, I'm gonna screen capture this and upload it because, man, I really think people need to hear it. I didn't expect it to blow up like it did, but it was the fastest within the shortest amount of time of all the videos I'd posted prior to gain that many views.
How many views?
Like 1 million views or something like that.
In less than 3 weeks.
And then it just kept growing. And, we hadn't even released a version of the song. Like, you couldn't get it anywhere except for on YouTube. And it just was going bonkers on YouTube. And that's when Bethel Music was like, okay, we're ready to do your record now. They're basically like, yeah, you can do whatever you want for the other songs, but that has to be on there.
Andrew Griggs rips the song on March 26, 2017 and posts it to YouTube. It gets millions of views, so Cory records the song. Bethel Music releases it on October 27, 2017, and then American churches, lots of them, start singing it. Christian radio starts spinning it even before it's released to radio, and by March 2018, it goes #1 on Billboard's Hot Christian Songs chart, and by the end of the year, it's the most played worship song in American churches every Sunday morning. Cory goes from being a small Christian artist to a Christian celebrity in less than a year.
I was in my truck with my wife, and we were like driving to Target to like buy candles or something stupid like that. And I just randomly put on the radio, which I honestly don't often do. Like, for a worship leader, I just need silence a lot of times. But I put on the radio, and I remember Reckless Love came on, and I was like, oh, dang, like, this is legit. Like, they're actually playing it on radio. And I know it was local radio, so I'm not sure how, ubiquitous the song was at that point. But to hear it on radio was like, oh, okay, this is another level. Like, this is real. Like, this song is really actually going places.
Chalk one more up for the king of understatements. When Cory says his song was going places, he didn't just mean nationally.
I just like randomly wake up and have a direct message from Joel Houston.
Parentheses, a famous Hillsong worship leader.
Hey mate, I love your songs. Like, I can't do an Australian accent. All of my accents are really bad. But he's like, bro, I love the song. Like, it's incredible. This is changing the church. Wow, we've not had a song like this for blah, blah, blah. Let's write together. And I was like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Like I said, cool things started happening. But along with those cool things, life definitely changed.
I think the more noticeable impact would have been kind of the size of things and the demand. I've never traveled a ton. It's always been like once a month kind of thing, going out and doing random events or whatever, concerts, shows, conferences. But when that happened, the demand went way up. And I think the exposure and impact